Hey ladies, my name is Erica Willis. I'm with Believe Boldly Ministries and I am thrilled to get to chat with you today. Ladies, this is like the most fun pajama party ever, right? Because it can be the middle of the day in our PJs with our cup of coffee, hanging out at the computer, and no one is any wiser. I have no idea if you even brushed your teeth this morning. So you have freedom in this space to interact with each other just as you are. No judgment on the way you look right now, no judgment on the words you're going to say. I am excited to have you in this space to share your heart, for me to share my heart with you, and hopefully we get something out of this about renewing our hearts for female friendships. Now, I'm recording in my living room right now, and I live in Texas on a corner lot. So there may be some loud truck noises coming. I apologize. I am not a native Texan. For those of you that are, I love you and you're amazing, but your trucks are loud. So if you hear some loud noises while we're chit-chatting, that's all that is. Completely, you can think about the Texas state flag for just a moment and your pride, and then we'll keep moving on. But ladies, I am so thrilled to chat with you today. This concept of female friendships, renewing our minds and what it is that we believe about friendship, this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. When Becky asked me to be a part of this and that friendship was an option, I said, please let me share about this. God never lets us share about the things that we've mastered, and so he constantly wants me to talk about this topic. So I want to share with you a little bit about who my mom was growing up. My mom's name was Jamie, and she passed away just a few years ago, but she was an incredible woman. She was beautiful and talented. She was very hardworking. People came to her for advice and wisdom. She threw a fantastic Christmas party every year. Any birthday, she made an elaborate occasion. She taught me how to love people deeply and to be a good sister, be a good friend, and just basic everyday growing up stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I have these conversations in my head that play out that my mom has said to me over the years. Like I used to joke, I would walk through the house. I wasn't very a sweet little petal of a woman or a little girl growing up, so I would belch a lot and be really gross often, and she would always say things to me about that. So she would always say, Erica, if you keep belching like that, you're never going to get married. And then she used that phrase my whole childhood growing up into being a teenager, because I still didn't care if I belched in front of her or anyone else. And so she would say, Erica, if you don't start fill in the blank or stop fill in the blank, then you'll never get married. This was like the momism that played over through all these years. Now I know some of you have these same thoughts in your head of these phrases that your mom may have said to you growing up, or your grandma or your dad, someone that these phrases like you'll shoot your eye out is another joke, right? It's a phrase that our parents say to us that we play over and over in our minds. And there are things that she taught me. I want you guys to go ahead and share those, by the way, in the comments. But there are things that she taught me, like how to make a bed. I still, to this day, I'm 35 years old, and when I make a bed, I think of the words she said when she taught me to make a bed. So my grandmother was a nurse for a very long time, her whole career, and she taught my mom to make the bed with what they call hospital corners, which is just a very specific way of tucking the sheet in. And when I would make the bed, and when I still make the bed, I think in my mind hospital corners, and I think of how she showed me to do it and what it looks like on the bed and how to smooth out the wrinkles on top of the sheets and how to perfectly fluff the pillows and do the crease in the middle and have it look exactly as it is. So moms are fantastic for training us up in the way that we should go. When we have a good mom, we are blessed. They'll train us how to be a good friend. They'll train us in the way that we should go, as the Bible says, to make wise choices, to how to keep a good house, how to work in a work environment well. My mom's thing was always shake a hand, firm handshake, and look people in the eye. Things that prepared me to walk into adulthood and into being the best person that she wanted me to be. Unfortunately, our parents are not perfect. And they are going to do things that also tell us things that play over and over in our minds about their own beliefs or what they want us to believe. My mom would say things like, boys are just more fun than girls. okay, I could see that. I grew up around all boys in every neighborhood that I lived in, and when we would play army and ride bikes and build forts and shoot our BB guns and had so much fun. So in my mind I thought, oh, I could see that. I mean, I had a lot of fun when I'm with the boys hanging out, so that's probably right. She also would say, actually, I don't know if she actually said this or not, but I know that growing up, it was communicated to me through her actions or stories she told that women cannot be trusted. It's true that women, when you are friends with them, will eventually turn their back on you or lie about you or spill your secrets to everyone. And so I filed that away with boys are better than girls and more fun, and you can't trust women. The other thing that she told me that has stuck in my mind all these years is when I was in 3rd grade, we had moved to a new state and a new city. And there was a girl in my class that just the minute I met her, she did not like me. There was something about it that she was mean to me right off the bat. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter who I tried to befriend that was friends with her. She was always going to not like me. And I remember I came home from school that day, just tears streaming down my face because my heart, my little baby 3rd grader heart, was so broken. And I didn't understand it. And my mom, trying to make amends, sat me down and she said, Erica, some girls are just mean. And a lot of times it's because they're jealous of you. Now, I know what her heart was trying to say. What her heart was trying to say is, Erica, you can't please everyone. Not everyone's going to like you. And that's okay. It's okay that people don't like you because sometimes they don't have a very good reason. Sometimes people don't like you because you have something that they want that they can't have. But what I heard in that moment was, don't be friends with women. Don't be friends with girls because they will be mean and they will be jealous of you. That truth, piled on with all the other truths that I had heard, began to form my heart against friendships. Began to speak a truth to me that I didn't need girls in my life. I had boys. Boys were so much more fun. And I didn't have to worry about them spilling my secrets because guess what? I wasn't telling them any secrets. Who tells teenage boys their secrets? It's a horrible idea, right? So I felt safe, I felt secure, I felt like I had this happy little wall that I could live behind where me and the boys had all the fun and I didn't have to deal with all the girls. I could just write them off. This dramatic, catty, what have you. I also knew growing up that I wanted to be in ministry. Like I told you, I'm with Believe Boldly Ministries, which is a ministry that I've set up to minister to women, ironically enough. And I felt this call from God when I was in high school, and I was anxious and excited to figure out what that was like. Like, what does this even mean? I don't know what God's telling me, but I know I'm supposed to do something big for him. And what I saw around me was that the boys that felt the same way I did, that wanted to be pastors or music worship leaders, that sort of thing, that the men of the church that worked for the church would come and put their arms around them and teach them how to do what they did and speak words of life to them and encourage them and give them chances to preach and all these great, incredible things. And I felt so alone and isolated because I had no women pouring into me. Not one woman came to me and said, let me show you how to do this thing that God's calling you to do. Let me pour into you. Let me love on you. Let me encourage you. Let me show you how to do this. So in that I felt, man, my mom is right. All the guys support each other. Guys are the ones that are helping each other and lifting each other up and encouraging each other. And women did nothing. They did nothing for me. My mom was right. So I took this truth, and when I decided, after I'd been married, we were going to go work for a church. My husband was going to be the youth pastor, and I was going to be the worship pastor. And it was going to be a fantastic, amazing time. Finally, I would get some kind of recognition for this gifting that I've been given. And I was excited walking into this new season. And we went there and met the pastor and his wife, and they were fantastic. And so we picked up and moved all the way across the U.S. to follow this dream. And what we found was that this pastor and his wife were not as trustworthy as we thought they were. Specifically, the pastor's wife towards me. what I found is that she would try and manipulate me to do the things that she wanted me to do. And she would lie behind my back, and she would tell me things like, well, you better do such and such right, or you probably won't have a job next week. She did everything that she could to belittle me and to drag me down. And all it did was take all of these layers of lies that I had heard all my life, and it poured concrete over all of them and set them in form. Because if we cannot trust women in the church, we certainly can't trust women in the world. So I had this form of concrete in my heart that encapsulated everything. And inside were all the untruths that I had believed, that I had been told, and it had been affirmed through my personal experience. And I didn't know what to do with it. I just made vows from there. I just said things like, oh, I'll never do women's ministry. Oh, do not make me work in the kids area because that's all women are allowed to do. I started saying all these things that set me up for a path of never renewing my mind about friendship. Maybe you all have said some of these things. Go ahead and share. Are there things that you have said in your past that have gone against friendship? When I thought about all of these vows that I had made out loud and in my heart and in my head, and the ones people knew about and the ones people didn't know about, I started thinking, God, what's next for me? I mean, I've already been burned by the church here, and I certainly don't want to work with women, so what are you trying to do here? And he started to break the mold for me and said, I want you to start serving in kids ministry. God, did you not hear me? I don't work with kids. Kids are not my area. That's the thing that women are supposed to do, and I'm not one of those girls because I'm like one of the guys, remember? So obviously you're very confused right now. And what God told me to do was to go and try out, just serve in kids ministry for just a little bit, and so out of my sweet, obedient heart, definitely not a sweet, obedient heart, I just did the thing he told me to do. So I went to our kids pastor and I said, hey, I will help you with my amazing expertise if you will just give me 1 week. That's all I'm committing. I just want to try 1 week and see what it is because I'm supposed to be obedient and whatever. And she was super sweet and she gave me a spot for the day, and I went into that room dreading it. All those kids and fitting into this stupid mold of what women are supposed to do. I hated it. By the end of the hour of my teaching, God had started to melt away this form in my heart of these lies that I believed about ministry, about women, about relationships, because surprisingly, I loved my hour in the room with those kids. I don't know what it was, but there was something about getting to be creative and lead and have these little energies and sweethearts come wrap their arms around me and give me kisses on the cheek and talk about God. It was like all my favorite things in one place. It's like Chuck E. Cheese for a grown-up, right? All my favorite things. So I thought, okay, God, if I've believed all these lies about how I'm not going to be great with kids because I'm not like all the other girls, but it turns out I am actually kind of good at this, what other lies have I been believing? So I had entered into this really intense time of prayer. I would get up early every morning at 5 a.m. and pray for an hour because I wanted to hear from God. I wanted to know, God, what do you want me to do next? I've been doing this kid thing. What do you have for me? And he started speaking to me through my prayer time that he wanted me to do women's ministry. Oh, God, are you sure? Are you sure? Because, I mean, the kid thing was a stretch, but the women thing, that's you hit it out of the park with that one. I don't even know where to go find the ball. I'm so lost. There's no way I'm going to do this. I'm going to hate every minute of it. I'm not going to be able to trust anybody. It's going to be the worst experience of my life. Yet God persisted. He kept telling me that it was women's ministry. So he ended up moving us, showing my husband and I that we needed to go to Texas. And when we moved here, I thought, fine, again, my sweet obedience, fine, God, I'll do the thing you told me to do that I'm going to hate, but I'll do it because you apparently know what I like and what I don't like and what I should do and shouldn't do. And in my sweet surrender and in my sweet obedience, I approached the women's pastor and said, hey, so I'm supposed to come help you, and I don't really know what that means or what that looks like, but are you willing to let me help? And she said, absolutely, but here's the deal. When you help with our women's ministry at our church, I need you to attend this weekend away for women. We send a lot of women there, and we're going to reference it a lot in our ministry time. So if you've never been, you're going to feel like you're out of the loop. So I just want you to just try it out. Just go for the weekend. And if I hadn't mentioned it, women's retreats are like torture in my mind. Like all the doilies and all the fake flowers and all the crying and tissue boxes everywhere. Like, ugh, this is like the worst thing in my mind. Like, God, why are you torturing me? Why are you making me do this? So I had heard at these retreats that there was a lot of hugging that went on. Now, I am not a hugger. I'm not the person that's trying to hug everyone in the room. I'm like high fives all around. How quickly can I get out of this room in this awkward exchange, right? So when I found that out, I started getting a little anxious, a little worried about what is this going to look like in real life? Like when you go in for the hug, do you embrace and then you pat, and then what do you, like there's that moment where your faces pass and you're like, do I say something here? Is it awkward? Do I not say anything? I think I just don't know how to hug. And all of this anxiety built up about hugging women, and it came to the point where I started crying every day. I cried every single day. God, I'm terrified of all this hugging. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I mean, like, this is the kind of anxiety that had built up over the years towards women. How am I going to hug women for 3 long days? God, I don't know how to do it, and I don't know how to do it well. So I had taken my kids that day to go find some silly little toys. I like taking them to Goodwill and Salvation Army because you can get a toy for like $0.25, right? So I bring my change and we go. And I was looking through all the t-shirts, and this t-shirt jumped out at me, and I felt like I've got to buy this. And I know you guys can't see the whole thing here. It just looks like free, but it says free hugs, free hugs. This is the t-shirt that I found that day when I was shopping after I had been so stressed in my prayer time earlier. And I felt like God was saying, Erica, not only are you going to give hugs, but you're going to advertise that they're for free. Like, encourage people to come give you hugs. Oh! So I got the t-shirt and I wore it. And through each hug, God started to restore my heart. He started renewing my mind about what it meant to be friends with women, to find women that embraced you for who you were and didn't judge you. True women of God that weren't trying to manipulate me, that weren't trying to push an agenda, that actually cared about my heart, that cared about the things that I cared about, that cared about if I was hurting that day or not. It was such a sweet time for me. But what God showed me in that space is, Erica, you've believed a lot of lies about women, and I got to fix some of that for you. So here's what I want to hear from you guys. Let's interact a little bit. I had some lies that I believed about women that I would say out loud. Things like, women just aren't fun. Women can't be trusted. I want you all to start typing in the comments, what are some things that you've always said about female friendships? I'm going to read some for you that I was thinking today as I was processing. What were those lies that I had believed? What were the things I used to say that were so not true that God had to rewire my brain for? One of them is, I can't be friends with women. Women can't be trusted. And if you've said these things, just put your little hand up in the comment box, right? Like, we're high-fiving each other like, yep, totally agree. Women are emotional train wrecks. I say this after tearing up, so I don't even know what that means. I hate women's events. I say that all the time. I'm not going to a women's event. I'm not going to a girls' luncheon. I'm not going to a ladies' breakfast, brunch, dinner. I don't care what time of day it is. I'm not eating food with women so that we can sit around and have chit-chat for hours. That's a horrible idea for me. Not going to be fun at all. And then I used to always say women are catty, so they can't be trusted. And also that I feel more comfortable with guys than girls. I feel more comfortable with guys than girls. I want you all to look in the comments. Look at all of the things that we have been believing that are not true about female friendships. It's devastating. Ladies, we are each other's biggest cheerleaders, and we are missing out. We are missing out on what we could have. How incredible would that be if we could embrace friendship and begin to renew our minds to believe the truth about what female friendship can be, rather than letting this world, this crazy world, our crazy experiences shape it for us. So I've narrowed it down to 5 things that I believe we have to break in order to welcome in female friendships. The first one that's hard to get over is pride. Pride that I'm right and you all are wrong. I'm right in the way that I think, believe, in the faith that I have or don't have, in my political stance. I'm right and you're wrong. And we create a dividing line and we say, I'm not going to put down my convictions in order to have a friendship. Pride can stand in the way of our renewed mind because we can't open ourselves up to realize that maybe we have been wrong all these years. Maybe in 3rd grade, that girl was having a really hard time at home and that's why she was mean to me. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with jealousy. It had nothing to do with anything I could have made up in my mind. Maybe I'm the one that was believing the lies and not her. We've got to learn to let our pride down. So the second thing that holds us back from friendship, hurt. We've all been hurt by women. All of us. We've all been hurt in friendship, whether it was our own doing or someone else's. Sometimes we cause our own drama, right? And then we end up getting hurt and we just feel like, man, is this friendship even worth it? Like, is it worth the hurt that I'm feeling right now? Is it worth the drama and the stress? Is it worth this broken heart when I have to have a really hard conversation with my friend about how she hurt me? Let me tell you it is. Because here's the truth, you're going to always get hurt, and no matter what relationship you're in, because every relationship involves human beings, and none of us are perfect. So if you're wondering, is this hurt gonna go away? Yeah, your hurt can go away. It can be healed. You can have really healthy conversations with people and begin to restore that relationship. And if you're wondering, is it worth all the hurt that I'm gonna incur in the future? It is. Because for those moments of hurt that are like this big, the encouragement and the love that you receive in real female friendships is unmeasurable. These little drops in a bucket, we're gonna know the heart of our friends. We're gonna know she didn't mean to hurt us. And if she did, and she's a good friend, she's going to apologize for it. So the third thing that holds us back from friendship, selfishness. Ooh, that one hurts, right? Especially when you are a new mom or you have a really busy schedule. I remember when my kids were born, my son Tristan is 9 now and my daughter Reese is 6. When I was at home with 2 little ones, all I could think about is I've just got to survive the day. I just need to survive today. If I can keep my head above water for today, then I know that I can make it. I know I can do this. So when I had someone who would reach out that was a friend that would say, hey, would you like to go grab coffee? I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know how busy I am? Do you know how many things I gotta do? Do you know how many diapers I changed this morning? Do you know how many hours of sleep I've had? Do you know that I don't have time for all of this? What I found was that my selfishness was keeping me away from friends. A really cool thing is that one of my friends, her name was Deb, she approached me one day after church, didn't even know the woman. She saw that I had kids the same age as hers, and she said, hey, I'd love to have a play date sometime. And I thought, are you insane? That means I have to like get out of my pajamas and brush my hair and brush my teeth and take these monster children to a place and interact with people? This is a horrible idea. But she talked me into it, and I'm so glad she did because it changed my life. I remember walking away from her house from that play date thinking, I can do things with kids. I can have friends with kids. What have I been missing out on all these years? All the time that I've been isolated and by myself, I could have easily reached out and connected with someone. She started to reframe my thoughts for how women can react together, how moms can encourage each other, how we can build each other up in our stresses and our worries, whether our kids are eating the right things or sleeping or what married life is like after having kids. All of these things, we were able to have all these amazing conversations about that. What a gift it was. And if I had let my selfishness get in the way, I would have missed it all. The fourth thing that holds us back, jealousy. Okay, so I know I said that when my mom told me some people are jealous, that was a lie, that I shouldn't believe that. But the truth is, some people are jealous. Oh, it feels bad to say that, doesn't it? And I'm not always saying jealous of looks or money. Sometimes people are jealous how great of a friend you are. Sometimes people are jealous about what you wear. Sometimes people are jealous that your Pinterest board is fancier than theirs. I mean, I feel like at our core, we're wired for jealousy. So people are gonna be jealous. People will be jealous of you, and guess what? You will be jealous of them. You will look at their life and you'll say, man, she's got it all together. Man, I wish I had a job like her. I wish my kids were as well behaved as hers. And we begin to build a wall brick by brick, every piece of jealousy. I wish I had their car. I wish I had their husband. I wish I had their kids. I wish I had their life. We build a wall between us and our friends, potential friends. We can't let jealousy be the thing that holds us back. We've got to get that jealousy and we've got to release it, because it's never going to get any better if we don't. Number five, the fifth thing that holds us back from female friendships is judgment. We sit back and we judge and we say, I don't think I could be friends with her because I don't like the way that she talks to her husband. I don't think I could be friends with her because she seems kind of like flighty, and I don't know if she'd even show up if we set like a coffee date, so I'm just gonna not do that, right? We sit back and we look from afar without ever getting to know someone, and we say, I'm just not feeling it. I don't think I'm gonna connect with her very well. And well, why is that? I don't really know. I feel like maybe we probably wouldn't get along, right? So we sit back and we judge other women and we say, well, I think I know what she's like, or I think I know what it would be like, or we imagine all of these things in our minds that are not true. And if they turn out to be true, that's fine. Move on. Find another friend. But we got to start to let go of that judgment if we want to be able to establish female friendships. So I want you to start thinking right now and writing in the comments, what are some things that are holding you back from female friendship? Maybe it's some of these things I've listed: pride, being hurt in the past, your own selfishness, jealousy, even judgment. It may be that you don't feel like getting out of your house to make female friends. It's hard sometimes, ladies. Sometimes we're shy and we don't want to go out of our comfort zones. I know it's hard for people that are shy. I don't know what this is like because I am not one of them. But it's difficult for you to get outside your box. I know when I went to a new church here in Texas, I didn't have any friends, and there was a girl standing in front of me in church, and her daughter was the same age as my daughter, and my daughter was in childcare. Her daughter was with her, and she was kind of running back and forth on the seats, and I just watched during service and thought she was so adorable. And by the end of the service, I looked at my friend, or this new girl, who would soon be my friend, and I said, hey, my name's Erica. I am new at the church. My daughter's the same age as your daughter. Would you guys want to go hang out sometime? That's literally all I said. This girl is one of my best friends now. All I had to do was get over my fear, get over my jealousy, get over my insecurities, get over my past hurts, get over any pride that said I was too good to introduce myself to someone at church, and just have a conversation, just introduce myself, get past the things that have been holding me back. Ladies, you can have amazing female friendships. My challenge for you today is to think back on all of these lies we've heard in our past, the vows that we've spoken out loud over female friendship, and the things that have held us back in our own mind and in our own patterns from female friendship. I want you to release them. If you're someone who believes in God, then pray and release those. If you're someone who is on a journey to being a better you, then get a plan in place on how you can change the way you view these women. How can you get over these obstacles? What are some tangible ways that you can get out of your comfort zone to connect with other women? Because we've got to start renewing our minds about friendship if we want to have the whole healthy life that we're supposed to be living, abundant and full of excitement, full of joy. Ladies, if I would have missed out on this transformation of my mind, I would not be the person that I am today. I would certainly not be wearing a free hugs t-shirt in a room full of women to receive hugs. Now I'm a hugger. I don't know what happened, but it's like I started in my mind and it went throughout my whole body. So now I'm a fantastic hugger, and I love female friendships, ladies. My whole ministry is about women and supporting you in what you do. You can do this. You can have friendship beyond anything you ever imagined, anything that you ever could have put into words. And you will look back on today, years from now, and say, I'm so glad that I took a chance on friendship, because it is so, so very worth it. I hope that you all have had a fantastic time with me. I am so excited that I got to be a part. I hope that you'll check out my ministry page at Believe Boldly on Instagram, Facebook, website believeboldly.com. Ladies, it has been a pleasure, and I'm so glad to have got to meet you all and interact with you all throughout this 30-minute session. I hope you have a great, great Saturday.